When Gandhiji was assassinated, what did RSS do? Did they celebrate as Congress claimed? No. Guruji Golwalkar immediately instructed every Shaka will observe 13 days of mourning and also suspended all the daily programs. In Delhi, senior Sangh leaders Ansaraj Gupta, Harishchandra Gupta, Vasantara Vop personally went to Birla Bhavan to offer condolences. Even then came a lie, a very big lie. RSS is responsible for the death of the father of the nation. This statement by Nehru had repercussions beyond anyone's imagination. On 2nd February, Guruji was arrested. Do you know the charges? Section 302 IPC, the charge of murder, and taken to Nagpur Central Jail. On 4th February, RSS was banned. Edgavar Bhavan, the headquarters of RSS, was seized. 20,000 swayamsevaks across the country were arrested. Many swayamsevaks' homes burnt, properties looted, families were destroyed by Congress goons. Nehruji, the very first Prime Minister of India, turned his guns not on Pakistan, not on the British, but on the RSS, on Guruji Golwalkar. Why? Let us check the facts and understand the truth. Friends, before we go deeper, if you believe this truth must reach every Indian, like and share this video widely, especially with those pseudo-seculars and pseudo-intellectuals, because smashing their propaganda is also important. Now coming back to the point, in 1947, Bharat had experienced the horrors of partition, 1 million killed, 10 million displaced, thousands of women abducted. When the government machinery collapsed, who entered the streets to save Hindus? It was only the RSS. From Delhi to Punjab, from Bengal to Sindh, RSS swayamsevaks gave food, protection and the courage to lakhs of refugees. People saw this, not in books, not in speeches, but with their own eyes. From Punjab to Bengal, millions began to trust the Sangh as their true savior. Millions began to trust the Sangh as their true savior. This surge of respect, this rising acceptance struck terror in Nehru's heart, because the people were seeing strength, sacrifice and nationalism not in Congress but in the RSS. The impact was so strong that the English Tribune wrote, Punjab is the sword arm of Hindustan and RSS is the sword arm of Punjab. This growing acceptance of RSS shook the Muslim League. Their mouthpiece Don openly wrote, if Congress leadership needs to receive cooperation from Muslims, then it must ban the Sangh immediately. Nehruji and Muslim League feared the Sangh's popularity more than anything else. So when Godse killed Gandhiji, it was like an opportunity that they had been waiting for. Within just 5 days, RSS was banned. What were the charges of the ban? RSS spread communal poison. RSS ran a private army. RSS celebrated Gandhi's death. Big accusations, but no proof. Was Godse a member in RSS? No. In court, Godse himself admitted that he had no connection with RSS. Neither Nathuram Godse nor any of his accomplices ever mentioned RSS. Even the judgment declared RSS was nowhere in the conspiracy. My question is, if Godse had no ties with RSS, if the judgment itself freed RSS, then why the ban? Within 17 days, report by CID chief Sanjeevi said RSS had no role in Gandhi's murder, yet the ban continued. Why? Even the Justice Kapoor Commission declared no evidence has been found to implicate RSS, and yet the ban, the propaganda, the stigma, all carefully kept alive by Congress. Even after inquiry proved RSS innocent, why does Congress still repeat the lie? Because it fears the rise of true nationalism. Because it fears the rise of true nationalism. Friends, if you believe truth must defeat the propaganda, subscribe the channel and share this video so that Bharat knows the reality. Now see the interesting turning points in the story. Guruji was released after 6 months, not because the Congress government admitted its blunder, but simply because the detention limit had expired. Soon after the release, Guruji began reaching out to national leaders for justice and also started writing letters to Nehru and Sardar Patelji, urging them to restore the RSS and its democratic right to function. On one hand, the Guruji was urging national leaders for justice. On the other hand, official reports themselves were proving that all the allegations against RSS were baseless. All the allegations against the RSS were baseless. Meanwhile, in a letter to Guruji Golwalkar, a senior Congress leader said, I have a strong belief that the Sangh people can do justice to their patriotism only by working together with Congress and not by opposing or being separated from it. So look at the hypocrisy. If RSS merges with the Congress, it is patriotic. If RSS stands separate, it is communal. If RSS works with Congress, it is clean. If RSS opposes Congress, it is criminal. This is the hypocrisy of the Congress. Nation should understand. Even Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel ji wrote a letter to Nehru ji saying, all the materials received through known and unknown, true and untrue, named and unknown sources have been sifted thoroughly. 90% of these are baseless and speculative reports. Most of the allegations like RSS distributed sweets or held celebrations were all found false upon investigation. But did Nehru stop? No. He became more brutal. Under Bengal Criminal Procedure Act of 1818, in the midnight, 12th November 1948, Guruji was arrested again in Delhi. A 130-year-old British law gave absolute power to arrest anybody, anywhere, without any proof or reason. Just think about it once. Independent India, but using a colonial law to silence a patriot. Guruji was brought to Nagpur Central Jail on November 15th. The arrest was kept as secretive as possible. And just a couple of days later, he was shifted to Sioni sub-jail in Madhya Pradesh. Think about it once again. The head of the Sangh branded a murderer not on evidence but on Congress vengeance. This was political vendetta. The point here is, friends, the allegations were already proven false. And then why the arrest again? Why shift him from one jail to another in a secrecy? Wasn't this a serious attempt to silence a patriotic voice? Despite all these, behind the bars, Guruji's resolve did not fade. He called upon RSS swayamsevaks to launch Satyagraha, a non-violent protest, peaceful, disciplined and fearless. Men like Eknath Ranade, PBG Bayadi Dani, Balasaheb Devras led from the front. Along with them, Madhavrao Mule, Vishwantarao Kelkar, Dattopan Tengdi, Yadavrao Joshi, Morapan Pingle, names, some of the names engraved in Sangh history. Satyagraha continued for 45 days. More than 77,000 swayamsevaks were jailed. Nehru tried to crush the Sangh. He used lies, jails and colonial laws. Even then RSS swayamsevaks did not pick up weapons or violent methods. Sangh answered every atrocity of Congress with discipline, sacrifice and satyagraha. They filled jails, they faced lathis, they endured torture, but they never surrendered. This is RSS. This was not chaos, this was discipline, not rebellion, but resistance. Now friends, tell me who was truly upholding the legacy of the freedom struggle and the ethics of democracy in independent India. While Congress murdered truth with propaganda, RSS kept truth alive with patriotism. While Congress wrote the darkest chapter of betrayal, RSS wrote the brightest lines of loyalty. While Congress became the destroyer of democracy, RSS became the defender of democracy. Congress tried to bury the RSS, but in the end, it buried its own credibility. Before I share the super hit climax of the video, I want to say something. Please share your knowledge and experiences related to RSS because on the occasion of 100 years of RSS, our team Trinetra would like to bring out more hidden truths related to RSS. Also, please comment your genuine opinion on this video and also please don't forget to subscribe our channel. Finally, after 18 months of drama, lies and harassment, the Congress government had no choice left but to lift the ban. But wait, could they admit their fault so easily? No, they had to show the nation that they had achieved something big, right? So what did they do? They forced RSS to submit a written constitution. So RSS drafted the same principles that they have been following since its inception: discipline, patriotism and service. Their propaganda collapsed like a house of cards. In other words, Congress dug a mountain and caught a rat. That constitution shattered the myth. RSS was never some secret private army. It was, still is and will always be a transparent, lawful and cultural movement rooted in Hindutva, rooted in Bharat. And the truth is crystal clear. RSS was targeted only because it stood for Hindu unity. Guruji Golwalkar was targeted because Nehru presumed him as a powerful rival force and felt very insecure about his throne. History proves one lesson very clearly. Truth can be suppressed for a while, but cannot be buried forever. 11th July 1949, in the midnight, the ban was lifted. 13th July, Guruji walked free. 17th July, Hedgever Bhavan, which was seized, was returned. 18th July, Shaka restarted at Mohida ground as if nothing had happened. Remember, RSS always rises, RSS always serves, RSS always stands for Bharat. Because RSS means शक्ति, सेवा और समर्पण। भारत माता की जय। वंदे मातरम।